Sometimes you got to take a step back and realize that things aren't what they appear to be, right? Something's a little fishy. Things are looking a little funny out there in the light, and nothing encapsulates that more than this crazy story that hit the internet recently. And that's the story of Utah nurse Meggan Randall Sundwall, who was arrested and accused of killing her friend, who she convinced somehow was sick with terminal cancer, so that she could cash in on her $1.5 million life insurance policy. Now, once again, remember, I told you that things aren't always what they appear to be. So feast your eyes on this craziness.
Story we're following tonight. A Utah nurse is facing a murder charge, accused of killing her friend to collect a rumored $1.5 million life insurance policy, allegedly giving insulin to the victim despite her not being diabetic.
47-year-old Meggan Randall is now in custody this week. Here on August 12th last year, first responders found her with 38-year-old Kaycee Lynn Terry unresponsive in her bedroom. Terry died 3 days later in a nearby hospital. In downtown Salt Lake City, a Utah attorney weighs in on the charges.
She could face the death penalty, because one of the circumstances in which you could face the death penalty would be if you're doing it for financial gain. So murder in an effort to collect on insurance would be eligible for the death penalty.
During the investigation into Terry's death, detectives say they found thousands of texts between her and Sundwall. Sundwall believed Terry had cancer. In messages spanning 4 years, Sundwall allegedly detailed ways she could kill herself if she were in Terry's position.
I think the theory that the police are putting forth is that the cancer diagnosis was an attempt to have that person commit suicide. All hope is lost. You have cancer. You're in the process of dying. And maybe telling other family members that this person does have an illness, so their death wouldn't be a shock.
This is honestly so fucked up, but I can honestly tell you that surprisingly, this isn't the first time that I've heard a sick and twisted story like this coming out of Utah, of all places. This exact similar type of situation was talked about in the show Worst Roommate Ever. If any of you have Netflix, which most of you I'm sure have, and don't know what I'm referring to, please go and watch that show. It's crazy because this same type of similar situation was done and talked about in that show, and it was equally as crazy as this one. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So Meggan, who is a licensed registered nurse, was having some money problems and had wanted to try and cash in on a rumored $1.5 million life insurance policy she believed was held by her friend Kaycee. She believed that she was the beneficiary of that policy. So let's add all of this up. We have a rumored, and I have to keep saying that, all right? I will tell you why in a second, trust me. But we have a rumored $1.5 million life insurance policy and a desperate woman with some money troubles. So what does Meggan do? She finesses her friend into thinking that she had terminal cancer. This is diabolical, that this woman somehow convinced her friend into believing that she was dying from cancer. Now, according to legal records, over 28,000 text messages between the two, going back as far as 2019, showed Kaycee that she fully believed everything that Meggan told her. She believed the lie. The messages even included Meggan talking about how she was going to help Kaycee die and how her money troubles would be solved when she got that life insurance policy from her death. Just absolutely unhinged behavior from this chick. I truly didn't know that this is how, you Utah women got down. This is insane.
Problems.
They didn't have diabetes, and yet they were allegedly given insulin shots. So there's some concerns about that, and the police are saying that it's murder, that it's intentional, that you put insulin in the body of someone who's not diabetic acts as a poison.
Police evidence shows Sundwall kept searching for Terry's life insurance policy after her death and deleted over 900 texts from her phone.
Under no circumstances would the person who committed the murder, if that person turns out to be convicted, they would never receive those benefits.
As far as her licensing status as a nurse right now, I got the statement from the Division of Professional Licensing. DOPL is taking the report of the nurse allegedly poisoning her roommate very seriously and has launched an investigation into the allegations. While DOPL does not comment on an open investigation, it is committed to a thorough investigation and ensuring the safety of the public. Now I reached out to the victim's sister, who did not want to appear on camera at this time. She says she's not ready, but did say her sister never had an insurance policy, and Randall knew that, she says. Now Randall is being held without bail, pending a pretrial hearing according to court documents.
This chick is absolute garbage. Like, throw her completely under the prison. Just sit back and think about that, like, just for 1 second. Your friend, who you've been friends with for years, who is a medical professional, a nurse, right? Certifications behind her name, licenses, somehow convinces you that you have a deadly disease like cancer that you don't have, okay? You do not have it. She has been medicating you and giving you shots of insulin, knowing full well that giving insulin to a non-diabetic would essentially kill them. And then having you plot your own death, play Jedi mind tricks with you to have you, say that it's okay for them to end your life so they can end up, cashing in on your life insurance policy is so wild to me that I can't even fathom it. Like, how would y'all react? Like, how would you react to something like that? Now, I'm sure you guys are, kind of confused at this moment, right? Pretty much as I was when I first heard this story. So I'm going to try and break it down. So Meggan, the nurse, the murderer, sorry, I should say, told her friend that she had cancer. Now, to be honest with you guys, not quite sure what this friend's mental state was like, because she never once went to a doctor to get an actual diagnosis or even a second or third opinion. The friend, Kaycee, never experienced any cancer symptoms or anything like that. So for years, she was walking around here thinking that she had cancer when she was as clean as a whistle. So in those 28,000 text messages that they discovered, Meggan was detailing ways to Kaycee, her friend, about ways that she could assist her in kicking the bucket. Yep, that's right. She was essentially giving her a play-by-play as to how she could help her end it all right to her face. And Kaycee was cool with it. So back in August, on the day that, she was going to ultimately do the deed, she sent a text message to Kaycee, right? Asking if she wanted to take some promethazine when she got over to her house so that she could be asleep when she gave her the insulin. They were both at Kaycee's house all day, from 10 in the morning to 9 at night. Now, how did the cops even get there? I'm sure you're asking. Don't worry, I got you. So Kaycee's uncle stopped by, right? He stopped by the house to check on her. And when he got there, he saw that Meggan was there with her and asked why she wasn't at the hospital doing any of this treatment. To which Meggan lied and said that Kaycee had a do not resuscitate order and didn't want to go to the hospital. So alarms started firing off in the uncle's brain, as it should have, and he felt that it wasn't right. And it didn't make any sense, which he was absolutely 100% right to think that. So he decided to call 911 anyway. When they got there, they found Kaycee unconscious and struggling to breathe. And also, her blood sugar level was 14. Now, for those that don't know, a blood sugar of 40 is considered dangerously low, like deadly. Kaycee's was almost single digits. When they got to the hospital, the family informed the nurses and the doctors there that they were told that she had terminal cancer between 4 to 5 years. So you can imagine the shock on the family's faces when they found out that not only did she not have cancer and that Meggan was lying about all of this the entire time, but she was lying about the cancer to try and cash in on this fictitious life insurance policy that she thought would make her a millionaire. You see the sick and twisted games that people will play in order to try and get money out here? Crazy. So in a nutshell, Kaycee was taken out for really no reason. That's what this whole thing boils down to. I just feel extremely sorry for the family of Kaycee. This is such a horrible way to go out. And it's at the hands of someone who you thought that you could trust. Now, why Meggan would think that she would be the beneficiary of a policy like that is crazy. But my question to Kaycee would be this. If you knew you never had an insurance policy like that, why on earth would you continue saying that you did? Like, that part made no sense to me. Like, why keep letting her believe that you have this massive policy to your name and that she will get all of it when you die, when that wasn't true at all? Like, my head is spinning. But anyway, Meggan was arrested, right, on Thursday on charges of aggravated murder and obstruction of justice in her friend's death. You know, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this nurse from hell. We're gonna have to, if I see any updates, I'll keep you guys posted, but this was truly crazy and kind of a head scratcher, to be really honest with you. But, you know, I tried to break it down as much as I could to y'all. But anyway, y'all gotta let me know what you guys think about this story. Don't forget to smack a like on the video, and also don't forget to become a channel member, and also don't forget to subscribe for the one time. Peace. Sheesh, can't trust anybody.